Fan, get ready, because today we've got news that shakes the very foundation of Newcastle United. Liverpool have already snatched our Isaac. The fight for a place in the England team could change Gordon's destiny. And then comes a bombshell. Barcelona are desperate not to lose one of their jewels. And guess who's keeping an eye on him? That's right, our Newcastle. So you know what to do. Stay with me until the end, because this last story could shake up our January transfer window in a big way. I'm Rodrigo, and this is Newcastle Mania, the channel made by a fan, for fans who love our Newcastle United. You blinked, and Newcastle hit the headlines again, everywhere. Today we've got 3 massive stories, and the last one could have a direct impact on the future of the club. But before that, just a quick message. Remember those Chelsea fans who said this channel would never grow because our fan base is small? Well, they're already starting to go quiet, because our numbers are climbing higher and higher. So let's silence them for good. Hit that subscribe button right now. IT costs nothing, but it sends a powerful message. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together and show the true strength of the Black and White Army. News 1. Isaac hits back at criticism after Liverpool move. Let's kick off with the most controversial bombshell of the week, because this story is still making waves. Alexander Isak, our former number 14, has finally spoken out after his £130 million move to Liverpool, the biggest transfer in British football history. Isak spoke to the Swedish media and tried to hit back at the critics, saying that many people don't have the full picture of what happened behind the scenes. But let's be honest, fan, when a player kicks up a fuss, refuses to play, trains separately and basically pushes the board against the wall, it's hard to erase that image. And that's exactly what happened. During pre-season, while the team was in Asia getting ready for the new campaign, Isak had already made up his mind. He didn't want to wear black and white anymore. When the squad returned, he refused to reintegrate, trained alone in Benton and left Eddie Howe without an experienced striker for the first 3 Premier League matches. That caused huge frustration. The fans, who until recently sang his name loudly at St. James Park, watch him go from hero to villain in a matter of days. After all, we're talking about a guy who was crucial in the Champions League, who scored decisive goals, who embodied the spirit of the number 9. And then, suddenly, he turned his back. To make matters worse, his exit didn't even have a proper farewell. Newcastle's official statement was short and cold. No thank you, no mention of his goals, no good luck. Just a simple confirmation of the sale, as if the club had decided to close the book there and then. And fan, that speaks volumes about how the club also felt about the way it all went down. From Isak's side, the story was different. He claimed that when trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. In other words, he hinted at broken promises and said he was unhappy with the direction. But Newcastle denied any promises of a future exit and made it clear the sale wasn't part of the plan. What lingered was a feeling that Isak wanted, at all costs, to wear red at Anfield. And here's a question that's echoing through every corner of the fan base. Will Isak be remembered as a hero for 3 years of goals, Champions League nights and a League Cup? Or as a traitor, the player who abandoned ship when we needed him most? Fan, I really want to hear your take on this, because this is one of those stories that divides opinion. Some say he was just following his dream, others say he stabbed the fans in the back. So, how do you see Isak's exit? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is far from over. News 2, the Rashford-Grealish dilemma and a huge opportunity for Gordon. Now then, after all the drama with Isak leaving, let's switch gears and talk about something that could be absolute gold for our Newcastle, Anthony Gordon. The England national team is living through one of those dilemmas the press absolutely love to debate. Rashford and Grealish are back battling hard for a place in Southgate's attack. 2 big names, full of status, with history at massive clubs and always front-page material in the media. But right in the middle of this crossfire lies a golden opportunity, Anthony Gordon. And this is where things get really interesting. Gordon, unlike the others, has been on a meteoric rise. Remember last season when he was named player of the tournament at the Under-21 Euros, carrying England all the way to the title? Since then, his name hasn't been missing from the call-ups. And here at Newcastle, he's become almost untouchable. He runs, he presses, He dribbles, he creates assists, he scores goals, and has even reinvented himself when he had to step in as a centre forward. Of course, there was that red card against Liverpool that slowed his momentum a bit, and that could weigh on his image with the national team, because Southgate is known for being strict with discipline. But even with that blot on his record, Gordon remains absolutely key for Eddie Howe and one of the brightest young players in the entire Premier League. Here's the point. With Rashford still trying to get back to his best, Grealish fighting for a starting place at Manchester City, and other names coming through, Gordon will need to show even more consistency if he wants to stamp his ticket to the 2026 World Cup. The competition is brutal, but that might actually be a blessing for Newcastle. And let me explain why. When the fight for England's spots heats up, players give everything at their clubs to prove they deserve a place. That means Gordon is going to go into every single match with a bit between his teeth, whether it's in the Premier League, the Champions League, or the domestic cups, playing with maximum intensity. And who benefits from that? Newcastle, of course. Just imagine it. This lad's fighting to be a starter for England at a World Cup. He's not going to ease off in any game. He'll run. He'll battle. He'll give absolutely everything, because he knows that any slip could put Rashford or Grealish ahead of him. So, Toon fans, it's time to keep your eyes on him. Gordon isn't just a promise anymore. He's turning into the real deal, and he could become one of the standout names for both Newcastle and England in the years ahead. And what about you? Do you believe Gordon will secure that place in the national team and line up as a starter in 2026? Or is the competition still too fierce? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this battle is going to be a fascinating one. News 3. Newcastle eyeing Barcelona wonder kid. And now, lads, here comes a big bomb of the day. Newcastle are keeping a very close eye on Marc Casado, a young Barcelona midfielder, just 21 years old, who's been turning heads all across Europe. For those who don't know him well yet, Casado is considered one of the real jewels of Barca's famous academy. And Barcelona have already shown how much they value him. They tied him down until 2030 with a huge release clause, clearly set to scare off potential suitors. But you know how the market works. The more a club tries to hold on, the more the Giants start circling. Last season, Casado featured in 36 matches, grabbed a goal, provided assists, and most importantly, showed the personality of a veteran on the pitch. And here's the key detail. It's not only Newcastle tracking him. West Ham, Aston Villa, and even Marseille are lurking as potential destinations. That tells you just how much of a hot topic this lad has become in the European market. Barca's new manager Hansi Flick has already tried to kill the rumors at the root. He said publicly that he doesn't want to lose Casado under any circumstances, that is counting on him for what will be a tough season, and that the youngster gives confidence to the whole squad. But let's be honest, lads, how many times have we heard this kind of speech in football? How many players were once labeled untouchable only to be sold once the right offer arrived? And this is where Newcastle come into the picture. The club see Casado not only as an immediate boost, but as a long-term investment. He could slot perfectly into our midfield alongside Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, forming an elite trio capable of controlling games both in Premier League and the Champions League. Eddie Howe sees in him exactly the kind of profile that fits the project. Young, technical, versatile, and with massive room to grow. And let's be real here, mate. If this deal actually moves forward in January, it could be one of those era-defining transfers. Bringing Casado to St. James Park wouldn't just be another signing. It would be a clear message to the rest of Europe that Newcastle are building a midfield to rival the very best. The big question now is, will Barcelona really manage to hold on to him until 2030, like they dream? Or will Newcastle wait for the perfect opening and strike at just the right time, snapping up another elite talent to wear the black and white? This battle promises to be red hot, and one thing certain. If Casado sets foot at St. James Park, the Toon Army will have every reason to dream big. Lads, the transfer market never sleeps, and every day it feels like Newcastle preparing not just for the present, but for the future as well. And this tug-of-war with European giants proves we're truly in the game. So I got to ask you, would you like to see Marc Casado in our shirt? Or do you reckon Barca will hold firm till the very end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, hit the bell, and of course subscribe to the channel to strengthen this black and white army that's only getting bigger. Thanks for watching till the end. Lads, And get ready, because this transfer window still has plenty of bombs to come.